deep into the world of Aztec mythology to answer one big question. Who is God? Serpent often takes center stage in discussions about Aztec gods. But is he truly the most captivating of them all? Or do other deities rival his legacy? Let's explore. First, we need to dispel a few myths about the Aztec gods. Many people think Aztec deities are solely linked to human sacrifice and violence. While the Aztecs did perform rituals involving sacrifice, their gods represented far more than just war and bloodshed. The Aztecs viewed their deities as multidimensional forces tied to nature, knowledge, the cosmos, and even wisdom. The challenge of understanding Aztec deities arises from the lack of a single, unified mythology. Unlike the Greeks or Egyptians, the Aztecs left behind fragmented records, codices, oral traditions, and archaeological findings that scholars must piece together. Despite these gaps, it's clear that these gods played a vital role in Aztec culture, shaping their understanding of the universe and daily life. So, with that context, let's talk about Quetzalcoatl, one of the most iconic figures in Aztec mythology. Known as the feathered serpent, Quetzalcoatl stands out for his unique hybrid form, a serpent's body with the wings of a bird. More importantly, he's associated with wisdom, knowledge, and creation, making him a symbol of intellectual and spiritual growth. One of his most famous stories tells of him venturing into the underworld to steal sacred maize, bringing sustenance to humanity. In this act, Quetzalcoatl is seen as a life giver, nourishing the people and connecting with their survival and growth. But Quetzalcoatl wasn't the only major player in the Aztec pantheon. We have gods like Tezcatlipoca, a deity just as complex and enigmatic. Tezcatlipoca, often referred to as the smoking mirror, represented the night, the heavens, and the cycles of time. He was a god of chaos, balance, and regeneration, often in opposition to Quetzalcoatl. The duality between these two gods adds depth to their myths. Tezcatlipoca embodies the destructive and unpredictable side of nature, while Quetzalcoatl symbolizes creation and harmony. This eternal struggle of creation versus destruction echoes through many Aztec stories. Then, we have Huitzilopochtli, another fascinating figure who is central to Aztec identity. As the god of the sun, war, and sacrifice, Huitzilopochtli was directly tied to the Aztecs' rise as a military power. His fierce imagery, often wielding a serpent-like weapon, connects him to both the life-giving sun and the warrior ethos that drove the Aztec Empire. Huitzilopochtli's mythology is full of violent struggles, particularly his birth story, where he emerges fully armed to vanquish his enemies. His role was central to the religious and political dominance of the Aztec people. Each of these gods, Quetzalcoatl, Tezcatlipoca, and Huitzilopochtli, represents different aspects of the Aztec worldview: wisdom and creation, chaos and balance, war and sacrifice. They are not one-dimensional beings, but complex entities representing the many forces that shaped the Aztec Empire. Now, let's return to our original question. Is Quetzalcoatl the most fascinating Aztec god? In terms of his cultural reach and influence, it's hard to argue against him. Quetzalcoatl's mythology stretches beyond the Aztec Empire and has endured through time. His image and symbolism have transcended the ancient world, inspiring generations of artists, thinkers, and even political movements in modern Mexico. Unlike some other deities who are often associated with destruction or violence, Quetzalcoatl stands for creation, enlightenment, and renewal. That said, while Quetzalcoatl's legacy is undeniable, the complexity of gods like Tezcatlipoca and Huitzilopochtli cannot be ignored. Tezcatlipoca's representation of time and chaos makes him a worthy contender, embodying the universe's unpredictability and balance. Huitzilopochtli, meanwhile, drove the Aztecs' militaristic prowess, his cult central to their rise and domination. In conclusion, while each Aztec god has their own unique attributes and fascinating stories, Quetzalcoatl remains a standout figure for his enduring cultural significance. His legacy as the feathered serpent, a bringer of wisdom and light, has far outlasted the Aztec Empire, making him perhaps the most captivating of all the Aztec gods. But what do you think? Is Quetzalcoatl truly the most fascinating? Or do you prefer the enigmatic Tezcatlipoca or the fierce Huitzilopochtli? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's get the conversation going. If you enjoyed this dive into Aztec mythology, be sure to check out my other videos for more ancient stories and cultural explorations. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on all my latest content.
Welcome to another fascinating dive into the mythologies of ancient civilizations. Today, we're turning our attention to one of the most mysterious, powerful, and feared gods in Aztec mythology, Tezcatlipoca, the god of darkness, night, and the elusive secrets of the cosmos. His very name means smoking mirror, a symbol of his ability to see everything, yet remain hidden in shadow. Join me as we delve into the myths, legends, and influence of Tezcatlipoca, a god who represented not just chaos and darkness, but also wisdom, fate, and duality. Who is Tezcatlipoca? Tezcatlipoca is one of the most important deities in Aztec mythology, often seen as the counterpart and rival of Quetzalcoatl, the god of light and civilization. While Quetzalcoatl represents life, order, and creation, Tezcatlipoca embodies destruction, chaos, and mystery. The Aztecs viewed their world as one defined by duality, a constant tension between opposites like light and dark, creation and destruction, or life and death. Tezcatlipoca was a living embodiment of this tension. He wasn't just a god of darkness. He was also linked to many other domains, including fate, war, sorcery, and even wisdom. His complexity is reflected in the many roles he plays in Aztec mythology, sometimes as a trickster, sometimes as a wise counselor, and sometimes as a destructive force that must be respected and feared. The smoking mirror and his obsidian foot Tezcatlipoca is often depicted holding a mirror made of obsidian, the smoking mirror that gives him his name. Through this mirror, Tezcatlipoca could see all the deeds of humankind, both good and evil. His mirror symbolizes hidden truths and the idea that everything we see is clouded by illusion. One of the most distinctive attributes of Tezcatlipoca is his missing foot. According to one myth, during the creation of the world, Tezcatlipoca sacrificed his foot in a battle with the earth monster, Tlaloc. In doing so, he enabled the creation of the land, but his foot was devoured in the process. This loss is symbolic, representing both his self-sacrifice for creation and his eternal connection to chaos and transformation. The rivalry with Quetzalcoatl, the relationship between Tezcatlipoca and Quetzalcoatl, is central to Aztec mythology. The two gods are often depicted as rivals, each representing opposite forces. In one of the most famous myths, they take turns creating and destroying worlds. According to Aztec cosmology, we are currently living in the fifth sun, a world created by these gods after the previous four were destroyed in cosmic battles. Their rivalry reached its peak when Tezcatlipoca tricked Quetzalcoatl into a series of misdeeds that led to Quetzalcoatl's eventual exile. This myth represents the eternal struggle between order and chaos, with neither able to fully overcome the other. Tezcatlipoca's role in human life. Tezcatlipoca was not just a god who interacted with other deities. He was deeply involved in the lives of humans, often appearing as a figure of fate and destiny. The Aztecs believed that Tezcatlipoca could see into their hearts, judging their actions and intentions. As such, he was both revered and feared. He was also associated with warfare and sacrifice, two essential aspects of Aztec life. Warriors dedicated battles to him, and he was honored with blood sacrifices to maintain the balance of the universe. These acts were seen as necessary to appease his often volatile nature and prevent him from plunging the world into chaos. Tezcatlipoca as the god of time. Another important aspect of Tezcatlipoca's identity is his association with time, specifically cyclical time. The Aztecs believed that time itself was a cycle of creation and destruction, with periods of stability followed by catastrophe. As the god of time, Tezcatlipoca was both the instigator of these cycles and the force that ensured they continued. This concept of cyclical time is mirrored in the Aztec calendar, where Tezcatlipoca ruled over certain days and periods. His influence was seen as unpredictable, often bringing about changes in fortune, the rise and fall of empires, and even personal fates. The jaguar, Tezcatlipoca's animal form, closely associated with the jaguar, an animal that was considered sacred by the Aztecs. Jaguars are creatures of the night, powerful hunters that move silently through the darkness, making them the perfect symbol for Tezcatlipoca's stealth and strength. In some myths, Tezcatlipoca is depicted as transforming into a jaguar, using this form to carry out his plans in the mortal world. The jaguar also symbolizes royalty and power in Aztec culture, further cementing Tezcatlipoca's status as one of the most formidable gods. His jaguar aspect connects him to both the nobility and the ferocity of the natural world. Tezcatlipoca's legacy endures. His image is a reminder of the complex interplay between light and dark, good and evil, order and chaos. He is a figure who encourages us to confront the unknown and recognize the dualities that define human existence. In modern interpretations, Tezcatlipoca often appears in art, literature, and even popular culture. He remains a symbol of the mysterious and the unseen, the forces that operate beyond human understanding. Tezcatlipoca is a god of complexity, embodying many different, often contradictory aspects. He is a god of darkness, but also of wisdom. He is a trickster, but also a protector. Through him, the Aztecs explored the duality of existence, the interplay of creation and destruction, light and dark. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the myths and mysteries of Tezcatlipoca. If you enjoyed learning about this powerful god, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the rich tapestry of mythology from around the world. Who's your favorite mythological figure? Share in the comments, and let's continue the conversation.
Imagine a god so fierce, so powerful, that he had to wage a cosmic battle every day to keep the sun in the sky. Huitzilopochtli, the Aztec god of war and the sun, wasn't just any god. He embodied the lifeblood of the Aztec Empire itself. His story is a tale of violence, sacrifice, and relentless courage. Did you know that without him, the Aztecs believed the world would plunge into eternal darkness? Join me as we recreate the legendary struggles of Huitzilopochtli and explore the fiery depths of Aztec mythology. In the heart of the ancient Aztec Empire, where massive pyramids rose from the earth and warriors were seen as living sacrifices, one god reigned supreme, Huitzilopochtli, the deity of war and the sun. Huitzilopochtli wasn't just a god. He was a symbol of survival, strength, and unbreakable loyalty. His battles weren't only his own. They were cosmic conflicts representing the Aztec struggle for life. He fought every day, not only against darkness but also against those who would try to extinguish his people's spirit. So what made Huitzilopochtli such a significant figure? And what does his story tell us about the Aztec view of life, death, and everything in between? Imagine the world as the Aztecs saw it. a fragile place where the sun's survival depends on a daily battle against forces that would see it destroyed. Huitzilopochtli is at the center of this cosmic struggle. In Aztec mythology, each dawn isn't guaranteed. Every single day, Huitzilopochtli must go to war to ensure the sun's light will rise again, battling his eternal enemies in the dark realms of the universe. But here's the challenge. Huitzilopochtli's power comes with a cost. To keep him strong enough to win, the Aztecs believed they had to feed him with blood, the life essence of their finest warriors and captives. Fire and blood were woven into their worship, symbols of his unstoppable might and of the loyalty demanded from his followers. So, what kind of god needs such powerful devotion? And what did these offerings mean to the people who made them? To understand Huitzilopochtli's power and influence, we have to go back to his origins. According to legend, Huitzilopochtli was born under extraordinary and violent circumstances. His mother, Quetzalcoatl, the earth goddess, became mysteriously pregnant after a ball of feathers descended upon her. But her other children, led by Quetzalcoatl, the moon goddess, were furious. They saw their mother's pregnancy as a betrayal and decided to kill her in revenge. Yet at the very moment they attacked, Huitzilopochtli was born, fully armed and ready for war. Bursting onto the scene, he wielded a fiery serpent weapon and unleashed his wrath on Quetzalcoatl, striking her down in a battle that cast her head into the heavens to become the moon. This tale marked Huitzilopochtli as not only a warrior but a protector, symbolizing the Aztec values of fierce loyalty and defense of family and honor. His birth myth became central to Aztec beliefs, embodying the idea that war was not only necessary but sacred. Huitzilopochtli's battles became the model for every warrior to follow, as they prepared to fight for their people, their gods, and their land. And the Aztecs took this seriously. Every captured enemy and warrior sacrificed was considered an offering to fuel Huitzilopochtli's strength. The red of blood, the flickering flames, and the rhythmic drums created an atmosphere that connected the people directly to the battles of their god. But Huitzilopochtli's myth goes beyond his birth. His daily battle as the sun god was an event of epic proportions, one the Aztecs relived each morning. They believed that every sunrise was a victory, a reminder of Huitzilopochtli's dominance over his enemies. Each dawn, he rides across the sky, armed with his serpent weapon, facing enemies in the darkness who attempt to consume him. This isn't a quiet journey, it's a clash, filled with the roar of battle and the heat of his weapon, as he strikes down the darkness threatening to overcome the world. And for this daily victory, the Aztecs celebrated the Panquetzalcoatl festival. During this festival, the people honored Huitzilopochtli's triumph by recreating the battle, filling the air with the smell of burning incense and the chants of warriors. It was a time of intense celebration and sacrifice. The people offered him the hearts of their bravest warriors and even their captives, who were seen as worthy fuel to empower him in his struggle. The Aztec capital of Tenochtitlan would have been alive with the sights, sounds, and scents of this intense ritual. High priests stood atop the temple, while crowds of spectators looked on as the ritual sacrifices were made. The fires burned brightly, and the earth was anointed with blood, symbols of Huitzilopochtli's victory over darkness, brought to life in a grand, ceremonial display. This tale of daily sacrifice and cosmic battle wasn't just a story, it was the heartbeat of Aztec culture. The Aztecs believed their world was at constant risk of collapse, held together only by the strength of their gods and their own devotion. Huitzilopochtli's fight wasn't only for the sun, it represented the struggle of the Aztecs themselves, an unyielding dedication to survival and loyalty. This need for sacrifice reveals a worldview where death and life are deeply intertwined, each one feeding into the other. Blood, as the essence of life, was seen as the ultimate offering, a way to bind the people to their gods in a reciprocal relationship. And Huitzilopochtli's fiery energy became a guiding force for all who sought strength, courage, and resilience in the face of adversity. To honor Huitzilopochtli, the Aztecs built magnificent temples, the most famous of which was the Templo Mayor in Tenochtitlan. This grand pyramid stood as a monument to his glory and was the site of countless sacrifices made to keep his strength alive. Rituals held here were intense, marked by fire, rhythmic chanting, and the offering of hearts to fuel the god's power. To the Aztecs, these sacrifices weren't just acts of faith, they were a critical contribution to Huitzilopochtli's cosmic mission. Warriors, seen as embodiments of his spirit, strove to emulate his strength and tenacity in battle. Huitzilopochtli's influence was so powerful that even after the Spanish conquest, his stories continued to captivate and influence both indigenous and Western narratives. Huitzilopochtli was more than a god of war. He was the very essence of Aztec perseverance and the unbreakable will to survive. Through his daily battles, he taught the Aztecs that life required sacrifice and courage. His story became the heartbeat of an empire, a reminder of the importance of loyalty, family, and survival in a dangerous world. From his fiery birth to his cosmic battles, Huitzilopochtli's legend endures as a symbol of resilience and devotion, offering us a powerful glimpse into the soul of the Aztec people. Thank you for journeying through the epic story of Huitzilopochtli with me. His battles, his legacy, and the intense loyalty of his followers remind us of the deep power myths hold. Do you think you could endure the fiery challenges of Huitzilopochtli's world? Let me know in the comments. And if you're interested in more tales from Aztec mythology or want to learn about other legendary gods, don't forget to subscribe and check out our next video on the fascinating world of ancient gods and warriors. Until next time, keep exploring, and may the spirit of Huitzilopochtli's strength be with you.
Join me as we attempt to summon the ancient Aztec gods in a gathering unlike any other. Imagine, if you will, standing atop a majestic pyramid, where the ancient pantheon gathers around a ceremonial fire, each god embodying their cosmic powers and mysteries. In the heart of Mesoamerica, the Aztecs believed in a world ruled by an intricate pantheon of deities, with each god influencing not just the natural world but also the daily lives of mortals. Understanding these gods is no simple task, as each one brings with them complex symbols, myths, and stories that seem almost like a riddle. To unravel this, we'll first meet the sun god, Huitzilopochtli, a central figure of the Aztec cosmos. He was the driving force behind the Aztecs' journey to their sacred lands, depicted as a powerful warrior wielding a shield and spear. His story is a dramatic tale of struggle and conquest. He battled his sister, Quetzalcoatl, the moon goddess, who sought to prevent him from ascending the sky. Their epic clash is a symbolic representation of day triumphing over night, a divine struggle that kept the world balanced. For the Aztecs, Huitzilopochtli was more than a sun god. He was the essence of survival and growth, the fierce protector of his people, ensuring the continuation of life with each rising sun. Next to Huitzilopochtli, we find the feathered serpent Quetzalcoatl, a figure of wisdom, knowledge, and creation. Legend tells us he gifted humanity with agriculture and writing, guiding civilization itself. Unlike Huitzilopochtli's fierce warrior nature, Quetzalcoatl's story is one of sacrifice and redemption. He was known to have been overthrown and exiled, yet his influence persisted. His image, with its vibrant feathered form, was a reminder of the Aztecs' deepest philosophical values: wisdom, humility, and transformation. Another remarkable presence in this gathering is Tezcatlipoca, the god of destiny and fate, often portrayed with a mysterious mirror on his forehead. This mirror allowed him to peer into the hearts of mortals, knowing their deepest desires and fears. Known as the smoking mirror, Tezcatlipoca represents the duality of life, the simultaneous presence of creation and destruction, light and darkness. His interactions with Quetzalcoatl are some of the most famous in Aztec mythology, as they embody a cosmic rivalry. Tezcatlipoca's schemes led to Quetzalcoatl's downfall, creating a cycle of power and betrayal that kept the Aztec cosmos in constant flux. He was a god whose presence stirred intrigue and fear, his story a reminder of life's unpredictable nature. One of the most profound tales featuring these gods is the myth of the fifth sun. This story symbolizes the Aztecs' understanding of time as cyclical, a universe shaped by successive creations and destructions. In the myth, after the destruction of the fourth sun, the world plunged into darkness, and it was up to the gods to restore light and life. They sacrificed themselves to ignite the fifth sun, a powerful metaphor for the cycle of renewal, death, and rebirth that pervades Aztec belief. Through this story, the Aztecs express the view that all life exists in a delicate balance, continually shaped by cosmic forces. As we move deeper into the gathering, we find other important deities like Tlaloc, the rain god, and Huitzilopochtli, the god of agriculture and renewal. Tlaloc, with his fierce demand for offerings, symbolized the necessity of water in the harsh Mesoamerican climate. The rains he controlled could be both a blessing and a curse, essential for crop growth but destructive when unrestrained. Meanwhile, Huitzilopochtli represented the renewal of life through sacrifice, his image often associated with rebirth in agriculture, as he was believed to peel off his skin to bring forth new growth. These deities, along with countless others, created a rich tapestry of beliefs that governed not only the natural elements but also the cyclical nature of human life. As we bring this mystical gathering to a close, we see how these gods were not just distant figures but intimate, living forces in the daily lives of the Aztecs. Their stories provided answers to life's mysteries, explanations for natural phenomena, and a means of understanding human destiny. From Huitzilopochtli's strength to Quetzalcoatl's wisdom and Tezcatlipoca's cunning, each god brought their unique perspective, creating a vibrant, interwoven world of myth and meaning. This journey through the Aztec pantheon reveals a culture that saw the divine in all aspects of existence, a world where gods and mortals shared in the endless cycle of life, death, and rebirth. The Aztec pantheon, with all its symbols and stories, leaves us with profound questions about our place in the universe and our own connection to the mysteries of life. So, what do you think of the Aztec gods? Which god's story resonates most with you? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to explore more of my mythology videos and subscribe for deeper dives into the fascinating worlds of ancient cultures. Imagine a world where the sun we depend on has already died 4 times, each death marking the end of an entire age. Now, all that remains is a vast emptiness, a world plunged into darkness and uncertainty. In Aztec mythology, this is the very scene we find ourselves in at the dawn of the fifth sun, a new era that could only come to be through the sacrifice of gods and the resilience of the universe. Today, we're diving into this epic story of cosmic creation, fierce rivalry, and ultimate cooperation, as Quetzalcoatl and Tezcatlipoca come together to raise the sun once more. The Aztecs believed that the universe was far from static. It was dynamic, alive, and always evolving. According to their beliefs, our world has cycled through 4 different suns, or ages, each ending in a cataclysm that wiped the slate clean and prepared the world for a new beginning. The Aztecs saw these cycles as natural, an eternal balance between creation and destruction, growth and decay, where every end was also a new beginning. The destruction of the 4th sun had left the gods with a massive challenge. They had to find a way to reignite a new sun to bring light, life, and balance back to the universe. Central to this myth are 2 of the most powerful gods in the Aztec pantheon, Quetzalcoatl and Tezcatlipoca. Quetzalcoatl, known as the feathered serpent, was revered as a god of wisdom, knowledge, and civilization. He is the benevolent bringer of agriculture, the god who gifted humanity the tools to thrive. On the other side, Tezcatlipoca, or the smoking mirror, represented the mysterious forces of the night and the unpredictable aspects of change. He embodied both creation and destruction, and was feared as much as he was respected. Despite their contrasting natures, these two gods shared an inseparable bond. They were both rivals and allies, cosmic forces that could neither escape nor fully overcome each other. Their complex relationship fueled the dynamics of creation in Aztec mythology, embodying the duality that the Aztecs saw in every aspect of life: light and dark, life and death, creation and destruction. To fully grasp the significance of the fifth sun, we need to understand the stories of the previous four. Each sun or era was ruled by a specific god and ended in a unique catastrophe, setting the stage for the next. The first sun was ruled by Tezcatlipoca. In this era, the world was inhabited by giants, but eventually, Tezcatlipoca's sun was destroyed by a massive flood that submerged everything. After this deluge, the gods regrouped and created the second sun, ruled by Quetzalcoatl. However, this age met a fiery end when a rain of volcanic stones consumed the earth, wiping out nearly everything in its path. The third sun belonged to Tlaloc, the rain god, yet it, too, came to a violent end due to a series of massive earthquakes. And the fourth sun, once again ruled by Quetzalcoatl, was swept away by a catastrophic windstorm, scattering the world's order. With each sun's destruction, the gods were faced with the challenge of reconstructing the world anew, balancing their power and sacrifice to bring forth another age. But with the fourth sun gone, they realized that only an extraordinary effort would be enough to reignite the world. This monumental task called for the combined powers of Quetzalcoatl and Tezcatlipoca, as well as the collaboration of all the gods. The story of the fifth sun begins with a council among the gods. In a solemn gathering, they pondered how they could bring back the light. They recognized that the fifth sun would demand something far greater than before, a sacrifice so immense that it would leave the gods themselves weakened. There was a sense of urgency and gravity in the air. Without this new sun, the world would remain in darkness, and humanity would be lost. At this council, Quetzalcoatl proposed the idea of self-sacrifice as the ultimate act that could bring the fifth sun to life. It was decided that the gods must put aside their rivalries and ambitions to bring light back to the world. And so, the stage was set for a sacrifice that would forever change the cosmos. Despite their complicated history, Quetzalcoatl and Tezcatlipoca understood the importance of this moment. They set aside their animosity, knowing that only by pooling their divine energy could they create the fifth sun. But first, they would have to purify themselves through fasting, meditation, and a ritual of self-sacrifice. In the final moment, Tezcatlipoca stepped forward as the first to offer himself. This act was monumental. As the god of change and transformation, his sacrifice symbolized the death of the old world and the birth of a new one. Quetzalcoatl followed, offering his own divine life to fuel the sun's creation. Together, they released a burst of energy that spread across the cosmos, igniting the fifth sun and breathing life back into the world. For the Aztecs, the fifth sun symbolized renewal, hope, and the delicate balance of existence. It represented the idea that life was a cycle, birth and death, destruction and rebirth, all intertwined in an eternal dance. This was a cycle not only among gods, but also within the lives of every person and every creature. The fifth sun was both a reminder and a promise that no matter how dark things became, there was always the potential for renewal. The myth also reflects the Aztecs' understanding of sacrifice as a sacred act. Sacrifice wasn't seen as an end, but as a means to achieve cosmic balance, a way to give back to the universe that sustained them. In this way, the Aztec gods mirrored the lives of the people who worshipped them, living in a world where life and death coexisted, each nourishing the other. The creation of the fifth sun, fueled by the sacrifice of Quetzalcoatl and Tezcatlipoca, is a tale that has resonated through centuries, a story of cooperation, rivalry, and the balance that underpins all existence. Their act of unity and ultimate sacrifice reflects the Aztecs' profound respect for life cycles, a reminder that every end brings the promise of a new beginning. As we close this chapter, think about the power of sacrifice, resilience, and renewal. What lessons can we take from this myth? How can we apply the Aztecs' respect for balance in our own lives? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this journey through Aztec mythology, subscribe to our channel for more epic tales from ancient civilizations. Imagine a world where survival is a daily challenge, where people are constantly at the mercy of nature's whims, hoping each season will yield the food needed to survive. In the heart of this struggle, a story emerges, a myth of a god who brought humanity not just a staple crop, but the gift of life itself. Join me as we explore how the legend of Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, symbolizes wisdom, resilience, and the golden maze that transformed civilization. In the rich mythological history of Mesoamerica, Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, stands out as a figure of immense importance. Known as the god of wisdom, light, and knowledge, he brought crucial gifts to humanity. In one of his most famous myths, Quetzalcoatl brings maize, a crop that would revolutionize the lives of ancient people, offering sustenance, hope, and the foundation of a thriving civilization. For ancient civilizations, food scarcity was a defining aspect of daily life. People were constantly at the mercy of their environment, living in an era where survival wasn't guaranteed. Agriculture was more than just a source of food. It was a symbol of resilience, of humanity's determination to survive against all odds. But every harvest depended on weather, soil, and sometimes, as they believed, the will of the gods. In this precarious setting, legends like that of Quetzalcoatl emerged, offering both practical wisdom and spiritual comfort. To tackle the challenges of food production, these ancient societies developed impressive agricultural techniques. They created irrigation systems, practiced crop rotation, and even developed forms of fertilization. Every advancement brought them closer to the dream of a steady food supply, but something was still missing, a crop that could serve as a reliable and nutritious staple. And then, as the story goes, a god descended to the underworld and found what the people needed. According to myth, Quetzalcoatl, who felt compassion for humanity, journeyed to the underworld to retrieve maize, a crop that would change everything. Imagine the darkness of the underworld, a place associated with death and despair. But Quetzalcoatl, driven by a profound desire to help humanity, braved this darkness, emerging with golden maize stalks in his hands, a vivid symbol of life triumphing over death, of nourishment overcoming scarcity. The maize that Quetzalcoatl brought back was more than just food. It became a symbol of hope, growth, and renewal. The golden color of the maize represented enlightenment and abundance, a sign that the gods favored humanity and wished for them to prosper. This simple grain became an emblem of community and cooperation, essential qualities in societies where survival depended on everyone working together. With maize, communities could settle, grow, and build civilizations. Cities sprang up, people gathered, and cultures flourished around this miraculous gift. Quetzalcoatl's gift allowed societies to not only meet their physical needs, but also focus on creativity, artistry, and knowledge. In this way, the gift of maize was just as much about enlightenment as it was about sustenance. It allowed people to look beyond mere survival and imagine a richer, fuller life. As Quetzalcoatl shared the maize with humanity, he didn't only provide them with food. He symbolized wisdom, resilience, and the transformative power of knowledge. This myth reminds us of the importance of understanding our past, and how the values of hope, sustenance, and enlightenment are universal across time and culture. Myths like that of Quetzalcoatl aren't just stories, they're cultural blueprints. They reflect the hopes, fears, and values of a people. Today, as we continue to confront global challenges, from food security to environmental change, myths like these remind us of our shared history of resilience and ingenuity. Quetzalcoatl's golden maze serves as a timeless reminder of humanity's ability to overcome adversity together. The legend of Quetzalcoatl and the Golden Maze offers us much to ponder about the significance of myths in shaping cultural values. What do you think about the role of these stories in helping us understand our past and guiding us into the future? Let me know in the comments. And if you're intrigued by these ancient myths, be sure to check out my other videos where we dive even deeper into the mysteries of Mesoamerican civilizations and beyond. Don't forget to subscribe and join me next time as we uncover more timeless legends. Welcome to an epic journey through Aztec mythology. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most captivating tales from ancient Mesoamerica, the cosmic clash between two of the Aztec pantheon's most powerful gods, Tezcatlipoca, the god of night and chaos, and Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent god of wind, wisdom, and light. This battle is not just a physical confrontation. It's a struggle between opposing forces that embody chaos and harmony, destruction and creation. In the heart of Aztec belief, Tezcatlipoca and Quetzalcoatl were seen as both allies and rivals, brothers born from primordial creation. But as their powers grew, so did their ideological differences. Tezcatlipoca, his name meaning smoking mirror, is the god of the unpredictable, often depicted as a shadowy figure adorned in jaguar skins. He embodies the mysteries of the night and the ever-changing nature of fate. Often feared, he represents the primal force of chaos that brings strife and darkness into the world. In contrast, Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, stands for wisdom, balance, and creativity. As the god of the wind, he can move between worlds, spreading knowledge and nurturing life. With his bright feathers and serpent form, he symbolizes the union of heaven and earth. The first stories of their rivalry take us back to the creation of the world itself. According to myth, Tezcatlipoca and Quetzalcoatl worked together to bring about the beginning of time, shaping the world for the first inhabitants. Yet, despite their cooperation, tension grew as each god developed a distinct vision for humanity's future. Tezcatlipoca sought to impose his will over creation, drawing strength from darkness and discord, while Quetzalcoatl envisioned a world of harmony, knowledge, and growth. Their rivalry came to a head during the Age of the Fifth Sun, an era of cataclysmic battles that determined the fate of the cosmos. As Quetzalcoatl attempted to create an orderly and enlightened world, Tezcatlipoca saw this as a threat to his chaotic influence. The stage was set for an all-out confrontation, a divine struggle that would shape the future of the universe. Picture the scene: Quetzalcoatl rises, his radiant feathers glistening in the light, while Tezcatlipoca's form emerges from shadows, his jaguar skin and smoky mirror sending chills down the spines of those who dare to look upon him. Their powers are unleashed in a flurry of wind, lightning, and darkness, each strike resonating with the primal forces they embody. The heavens themselves tremble under the fury of their clash, lightning illuminating the skies, and thunder echoing across the earth. As the battle rages, the other gods look on,